Hi guys, wait, hold on. I think that's a little bit better. Today I'm going to be, before I start the video properly, just going to say that, yeah, if you're wondering, I have put slits in my eyebrow. I did it myself. Judge me all you want, but I don't know. I've just been doing it for like a year now, nearly. Yeah, over a year now. But I've let it grow back a few times, but anyway, and my hair is dyed, so. Today I'm going to be doing my review, oh my gosh, it's filthy, on the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. Let's give this a wipe. This is one of the cons, oh my gosh, this is one of the cons about this palette, is the packaging. I wiped it down the other day with a wet wipe, which was not a good idea because the A here, like the line, it came off, and like this bit went like this, and the fluff started coming off, and yeah, but that's my fault, so yeah. A lot of things I say in this video are going to be similar to what Stephanie Nicole said in her video, if you have seen that, because I completely agree with pretty much everything she said, and I really wanted to see what she said, and I wanted to get a good idea of what I wanted to play around with this palette, make sure I knew my definite thoughts on it, and play around with all the colours multiple times, because I didn't just want to do one look and then do a review on it. So, this palette comes in this box, which is nearly the same colour as the palette, and the same design. Inside the box you get a little slip, which basically just says, caution and warning, discontinue use if signs of irritation or rash appear, and then the website. But it also says that on the box at the bottom. So anyway, they have the ingredients on the back, a glossy picture of it, the ABH logo. The batch code is here. So if you guys want to know what my batch code is, because people think different batches are of different quality, but I personally don't think that. And a cruelty-free certification, and it says it has a 6-month shelf life. But I don't know many people. I don't know anyone that that cares about shelf life of a product. Like, I will certainly be using this for way more than 6 months. Like, I'm not going to spend how much money I spent just to use it for 6 months. So yeah, it is like the sister palette to the Modern Renaissance palette. I don't have the Modern Renaissance palette. That is because I have a similar palette in my collection with those shades. So if I didn't have that palette, I would get the Modern Renaissance palette. In this palette you get 0.7 grams of product in each pan, which means in total you get 9.8 grams, same as the Modern Renaissance, and that means it is rounded to £4.29 per gram, or in America it's $42, so you're saving money compared to in the UK, which means it's $4.29 rounded. In this palette it's the same layout as the Modern Renaissance, the same like packaging design. It has a mirror at the top, and you get the shades. You get a brush, which I really do like the brush. This is a good flat brush and a good blending brush. What I do find with the blending brush is that it sheds sometimes, which I'm not fond of because none of my other brushes do that, and it's just a bit strange that Anastasia brush would be doing that. I'm pretty sure this brush is made in China, but these shadows are made in the USA. In this palette you get 11 matte shades, 2 duochrome shades, and 1 foiled shimmery shade. So yeah, these swatch incredibly well, but I think by brush they pretty much look the same nearly, apart from Cube and Electric don't swatch very well. I had to quite dig into these shades to get them to start working well. But Adorn is very pigmented, but Electric and Cube aren't really. I don't really see a lot of duochrome in the Electric shade, but in Cube I see more. I see a pink tone when the pink shift, and I had to dig into this especially to get it to work better. I'm wearing this palette on my eyes today. On my lid I have Roxy, and then in my crease I have Dawn and New Wave, and then on my outer V I have All Star, and on my lower lash line I have Rowdy. And I really like this look. This was the look I had the least trouble with because I was more educated about the palette, and yeah, basically. People have had problems with this palette that I'm just going to go through now. So one of the problems is the fallout of the shadows. Now, some people go in straight with a blending brush. I'm using the brush that comes in the palette to dip it in, tap it and then put it on and then blend. But what I do, this is what I've always done, is I take a flat-sided brush, I put it in, I put it on my eye, and then I blend it. So I'm going to take the shade Roxy. I'm going to show you what I do with this flat-sided brush. I go, and then I get the pigment on my brush, and there's literally the tiniest bit that you can't even see it unless you go like that. And then if I swatch it, that's what it comes out like, with like 2 little swipes. But if I go in with this blending brush and I tap it like that, it will have a lot more fallout, and yeah, you see that on there. So that is one of the problems people are having. So if people tap it like a lot like that and then go like that and they swirl in it, then it will hit pan or have a lot of fallout, because these shadows aren't pressed very firmly. And the reason why is because they want the shadows to be very pigmented and creamy and not hard, because in some shadows the pans are pressed down, the shadows in the pans press down very hard, and it's hard to get product out, but that does mean like no fallout, but it's harder to actually pick up the product, and that's why it's so easy to pick up the product. But if you do it really harshly, then it will pick up a lot and will cause the fallout. Another problem people have been having with this palette is the blendability of it. Now, when I first used this palette, I had no problems blending with it, and then I saw people complaining about how it wasn't blending and it was leaving lines. And I didn't understand how that was happening, and in Nicole's video she said because she thinks it's because people are taking their brush and they're placing it on one area of their eye like really hard, and then blending it out like really like harshly. If you want to know more about that, then go to her video. But that's the reason why when I tried blending them the first time, it was absolutely fine for me. I didn't get any lines, and it was just like not using another eyeshadow palette that I have. I like how this palette includes a high majority of mattes, because I never used to really be into mattes. I'd always wear shimmer. Shimmer would be over mattes for me, but I've really been able to get a lot of matte looks out of this that I really enjoy. And these two shades, Electric and Cube, when I started digging into them more, they were easier to use. Adorn is a beautiful shadow. It's just beautiful. Another thing people have been saying is that when they use colours, say if they use Edge and Rowdy, which are complementary colours, and they blend it, it turns into a grey colour. And Nicole, once again, she explained that this is because they are on the end of the colour, they're on opposite sides of the colour wheel, they're complementary colours. So if you blend them, you're going to get a grey colour, and that's for any that's for any eyeshadows. If you blend the two complementary, if you blend complementary colours, then they're going to turn into a grey colour, because that's just what they do. And I think because the modern Renaissance is all like one tone and not as much like no really complementary colours, you could really just get any shadows and blend them together, and it will come out with a look that wasn't like a grey colour or anything. People use different techniques when using eyeshadows, and because some people have a different technique to others and their technique wasn't working as well with this palette, some people are thinking that what has happened with this palette is an accident and that it's not meant to be like this. And Stephanie and Nicole mentioned that she don't think that's the case, and I don't think that's the case either, because Norvina, the daughter of the owner of Anastasia Beverly Hills, mentioned how they weren't pressed down hard and stuff like that, and she hasn't said that there's anything wrong with the palette. I know that she believes that this is how the palette was meant to be, and this was how she pictured it and how it's come out. And people think it's also depending on your batch code, like it's kind of on the palette here, but I can't really see it, but it's on the box too. Mine is P7E19. But I don't think that's the case either, because unlike the Becca and Jaclyn Hill collab, I think they were made in different factories, but I'm sure this was also made in the same factory, and there wasn't any problems with the batches. Otherwise that would be up to the manufacturer, and I'm sure they would have saw that fault and resolved it if that happens, because the company is very professional and they'd make sure that the palettes were the quality they want them to be and not sell them, and they'd check how each batch was doing, and they obviously care about how good their product is. Unlike some other brands, they really do care about the quality. Also, people were saying that the eyeshadows are different because the first ingredient on the ingredients list of this palette is talc and not mica. Mica and talc cost about the same amount of money, but they do slightly different things. If you want more information about this, you can look at articles online or go to Stephanie Nicole's video, because she explains stuff about this. But they do cost the same amount of money, and this palette wasn't inexpensive for the company to make. They didn't just go down a cheap road and just be like, oh, we just need to get this done, let's use a bunch of cheap ingredients. That's not what they did. There is other things in this which does cost quite a bit of money, and as I said, talc pretty much costs the same amount of money as mica, and like the shades may contain mica and carmine and stuff like that, and they have silica and electric and glycol. So this palette, what was that? So this palette was not inexpensive for Anastasia Beverly Hills to make. In the UK, it's harder to know whether to buy from this brand or in certain countries, because it's harder. We don't have like Anastasia Beverly Hills in shops here. You can only buy it online on the Anastasia Beverly Hills website, or from Beauty Bay, or from a reseller or somewhere like that. You can't go into stores. So if you really like the colour selection and you think you can make it work, then I do recommend this, but it's really hard to recommend it to people who can't go down and try it out for themselves like I couldn't. So I had to put all my faith into thinking this palette would be good, and I do like it. I really like this palette. If you're wondering, I do really like this palette. I love the colour selection. I think it's really unique, and I see people comparing this to Jeffree Star's and I hate myself. Trying really hard not to swear right now. I basically just dug my nail into All Star and I actually hate myself. And I nearly just dropped the palette, and I actually hate myself fully. And I didn't know it was possible. Anyway, I see people trying to compare it to Jeffree Star's Androgyny palette. Y'all trying to compare Natasha Denona and Miss Sporty here, so y'all, I ain't going into none of that. No tea, no shade. No, I'm joking. That was just jokes. I'm not being serious, so. Thank you guys for watching my review. I do like this palette. It's different for lots of people, but it's my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm like that lady or whatever. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see y'all later. And I might not upload soon because I'm going away, so I don't know. But yeah, bye.